Well, howdy, 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 nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys and girls, and welcome to this another brand new day with a hamster in my pocket. What a cute little guy with his cute little face. It's Harold. I put Harold in my pocket because he was in my hand, and I just said, hey, you know what? I'm going to put him in my pocket because I like putting hamsters in my shirt pockets. I have put them in my pants pockets before. I've taken everything out of my pocket just to make sure they wouldn't get hurt, and then made sure that the space was big enough before putting them in my pocket. If I needed to have both hands available, but I had a hamster with me and I didn't want it to get lost. Poor little guy. I don't know what's going on with that eyelid, but it's kind of gummed shut this morning. So hopefully he's going to be okay. His eyelid is... oh, it opens up fine. It's just that eyelid. I don't know what happened to it, but he wants to go back, so here we go, little guy. Thank you very much, little Harold. He is such a good little guy. He's an older guy, as you can tell, with the way his fur lies on his body, but he's a sweetheart. He's not as hand-tamed as the other hamsters that I've had and trained from, their birth, but he's still pretty cool. I really like him. He's a sweetheart. But then I like all my hamsters. I think they're all sweethearts, so definitely a thumbs up. My processor on my computer runs really, really hot. It seems to run almost dangerously hot to the point that woozy-ah, woozy-ah. I mean, it's not damaging the system yet, but if it keeps running this hot, it's like going to damage the system. Part of the reason I believe my system always sounds like an air conditioning unit and a jet taking off is I do have the system fan set for performance, which means it doesn't slow the fans down, it just sort of runs them at high all the time, which is good because it runs so hot it needs the fans running hard all the time. But then is it running hot because it's in performance mode where it's pumping everything into its performance instead of other things? I don't know. Now, I called my brother-in-law to see if asking him about first the water cooling systems, because I don't know if they're self-contained. I don't know if water can leak out. I mean, obviously water hasn't leaked out. My computer runs. If water leaked out, it would be non-running because water would have ran out all over the motherboard. Hasn't happened. So I was just kind of curious if vapor, whatever, I don't know. But he said, no, that doesn't happen. What it is, and I'll come back to that in a moment, is he said you need to blow the dust out of the radiator part of the system. Now, the reason that I don't quite think that's what it is every 2 months or less, I open that thing up and I take my air compressor to it and I blow the dust out of every bloody thing. And I spend time blowing a lot of dust through the system where the processor is. So I don't know that it's really that. And the problem is he's really good at diagnosing like that. All through my life with my computers, while I was married to my wife, if I said, oh, I've got this issue, and immediately it's his, you've got a virus. You've got a virus, that's it, bring it in, we'll fix this virus for you. And I've always gone, well, are you sure? Taken a look, fixed it myself, and it was never, ever, ever, ever yet a virus like he said. The nerf. So I don't really just immediately leap onto the, oh, he said this must be that, because so far every time he said that hasn't been the case. So I'm gonna, next time I open it up, I'm gonna open it up, make sure I've got a correct battery and a fully charged one, because my CMOS on that thing is kind of damaged, because periodically when I turn it off and turn it on, I have to enter the BIOS and then leave the BIOS so that it reloads the BIOS. It doesn't know what to do because the BIOS is gone. Oh boy. So I need a new battery to make sure it's going to be continued working. And then I gotta I'm going to make a special effort to try and see if there's any dust to blow out of the radiator, because it runs hot all the time. I got my box fan sent to me by a very wonderful subscriber, commenter, and I hope that she continues to be, and her family, a friend. Thumbs up on that. But this, not only the chair that I'm in, but I've got a box fan that I had received as a gift, and that is a wonderful thing. Thank you so much. What I do is I have it aimed right at my computer now. I have to have moving air. Stagnant air just makes me feel sick, awful, terrible, very, very bad. I need to have moving air even if it's cold. So yay on that. But without the moving air, I'm just uncomfortably hot and feeling nasty. And in the air even hurts to breathe if it's just not moving, if it's stagnant air. I don't know why, but there you go. And so I've got the box fan aimed right at the computer. And when it gets to be hot now, I just take it and I aim it right at the side so that it's blowing through the side of the computer, because there's holes in the one display side of the case. I close my eyes because I'm just making a terrible, terrible mess out of this description. It wasn't for any other reason than just me closing my eyes to go, oh God, I'm ruining this, even as I was saying it. So thumbs up. That's all that was. Gosh, 6 minutes and change. I had a lot of stuff, of course, that I've wanted to talk about, but I should write things down, but writing is painful. I do not like to write. Even before I semi-paralyzed, well, it was fully paralyzed. When it was for a full year, this thing did not work. It was just, I could bring my fingers in like that, and that was it. They had to go back out through muscle tension and gravity. And I could bring my thumb in that much, and then I had to let muscle tone and gravity pull it back out. Using a mouse was fun because I just had to set this thing on. I had just enough because, you know, I could move my finger in that I could click. Just enough to click. I couldn't lift my finger back up after the click. So it was fun. But I could still click, and so that made it so that I could at least do things, which was the only thing that saved me. I had horrible anxiety for that entire year because my hand was dead. But nerves do grow back. I'm not quite sure why spines don't. They're nerves, but every other nerve in our body actually does grow back. If you sever your nerve, like my radial nerve here, that for the motor part of my hand was just good, and it was dead because it had been abraded. I had fallen asleep through years and fallen to the sides in chairs and rubbed this upper part of my arm against the arms that I was just tapping on, and through the years that was just like rubbing a rope against the sharp edge of a rock until zzz, 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 snap, and it was abraded. Just completely abraded. That there was just enough nerves to do that, and that was it. And so they do grow back. It's about a millimeter a month, or was that a millimeter? No, it wasn't a millimeter a year. I can't remember the exact rate that they grow back, but that's why if you have like with me, when my hand was paralyzed, I had to make sure to wear the braces to keep my hand up like this. Because if you just let your hand dangle, that increases the distance that the nerves have to grow to reconnect. And so that becomes your default rest state for your muscles and your nerves. If you're not thinking about it, your hand's just gonna go flop. And then you think about it and go, oh. And so I fought hard so that still my default rest state is like this. I'm hissing around my dentures. I am so sorry. These bloody things. My lower plate, it never goes in correctly unless I glue it in real tight, and it's only partly glued in now, so I'm hissing around the thing. But I kept my arm and hand up with braces, and so this was still the default rest state. when starting again, we'll fix it. So I'm pissed off at my bloody webcam and system again because it does stuff like that. The entire time that I'm recording, I can see in the little webcam thing, I'm constantly going like this, little freezes, and then starting up again, and then sit with a jerk, and like it's constantly with little mini lag spikes, and it's just, I don't know why my system is caught up like this. Even after a fresh reinstall, what happened when I turned on my webcam and started recording? Same thing. It just this, hey, it's and then talk, and then ching, and it because I've moved while it's lag spiked, and so it's got to catch up to where I am. I have no ideas. My system bus, I figure, must be the big problem, and I don't know why. Not just the system bus, but the buses for the hard drives. Every single one of them. You're supposed to have a transfer speed, an average transfer speed of around 200 megabits per second. If I'm lucky, my fastest one, my SSD drive, still at its fastest is only at 120 megabits per second. And that's the fastest one. Every single other one of my drives runs at, if I'm lucky, between 40 to 60 megabits per second. I have no ideas. I do not know why my system does that, because as stated, even after a fresh reinstall, same thing. It just does that. So my system's messed up, always has been, but is getting lag spiky worse again. So I don't know. Format and reinstall again and hope? I don't want to go through and have to reinstall every single thing I've got again, because I'd have to reinstall just about every Steam game. If I'm lucky, Steam actually finds things when I try to tell it where things are during directories and such. If I'm lucky. So now I'm really irate at my system, and that further drove out of my head any things that I wanted to talk about. Because as stated, it hurt even before I paralyzed my hand to write. For years, if I write anything at all, what I do is I clamp down hard to the point that if I'm not thinking, my entire arm cramps. If I write more than 1 or 2 sentences, I have ground down so hard my arm hurts for the rest of the day. And so I can't really write without thinking about it, because especially after paralyzing this thing for a year, the nerves have grown back. I can write really well with it again. That was a huge bloody lag spike. I can write really well with it again, but it's still bleh, and it hurts to write. So writing things down isn't easy or fun or anything I really like to do. And plus, I got to remember to carry anything to write with, because I don't have any spaces here to write on. So I'd have to hold the thing, which means I've got to have it in my pocket, and carrying a big pen and a little tablet to write things on is not something I'm going to feel comfortable with, because it's a pain. And so I wouldn't carry it, and I wouldn't be able to write on it anyway. Fibromyalgia and brain damage from alcoholism for the win. Thumbs up. What I'm going to do now, because I'm really pissed off at my system, and every time it continues to lag, that just makes me more irate. It's not the system's fault. It's for whatever reason, just the way it acts. Like I say, it's not the system's fault. I mean, it's the way it was put together and the parts and pieces. So, yay. But I'm opening up 24 hours worth of comments in the community tab, and I'm going to go through and thank 20 to 25 people for having left me comments. If you would like a shout out, just ask for it, and if I catch it, I will give you a shout out. If I mispronounce your name, no disrespect is intended. I'm an American English speaker. We are not good at non-American names. We're not even good at American names. I'm better than I thought I would be, but still, if I mispronounce, or when I mispronounce your name, no disrespect is intended. First off, there was like the horror files. Not only asked for a shout out for the horror files, but also to say, hey, how about a shout out for Mika Mach 5 and Jamie's Division and Mateus Bulger and all the standard core of regular commenters. So thank you. all of you. Let's see, that would be 4 of you at the very least. There's more, and if I remember, I'll send, like Justina Aquavita Metz. You know, thank you all very much. I'm sure there's more again. You know, Gurren Logan, whom I remember, Will McLaughlin, and oh my gosh, I can't remember the other person's name, and I feel terrible. You have sent me a couple postcards, and I cannot remember exactly your name, and I'm very, very sorry. But going on to now whom I can remember, because it's all right here in front of my eyes, there is Japanese Sebi, or Japanese Ebi. Thank you very, very much. Coda Shadow, or am I at this? I'm at this one, aren't I? Coda Shadow, thank you very, very much. Ronaldo Gutierrez, thank you, greatly appreciated. Austin Unknown, thank you very, very much. Yayo Castillo, thank you, greatly appreciated. Pavel Sjogard, I sure hope I'm close. Thank you very, very much. Dr. Jones, greatly appreciated. Zeku, I hope I'm close. Thank you very, very much. Greatly appreciated. CJL Music, thank you very much. And Rolling Rock, thank you. Greatly appreciated. Dean Cordell, thank you very much. And I'm so sorry that you have RLS and all that as well. It's no fun. Aldin, thank you. ALDYNN, thank you very, very much. And Maria Mercedes, thank you very, very much, and I don't know why that was so hard to say. My sincere apologies. Abominable Snowman, thank you very much, greatly appreciated. And then there is Will L, thank you very, very much. And Dreadnought1, thank you very, very much. James Welsh, thank you, greatly appreciated. Eddie Halderman, that's 22, 22. Thank you very, very much. Akimont25, thank you very, very much. And Trickle, thank you, greatly appreciated. And then last but not least, Paper Days, thank you very, very much. Thank each and every one of you for having commented. You get me out of my head into the real world, and that is a very good thing. Thank you so much. It is not a good landscape behind these eyes and between these ears. So getting out into the world instead of brooding inside of that dark little place is a good thing. Thank you so very much. Well, if you could check my links down below, that would be awesome. I've got like Twitter, Facebook, GoFundMe, Patreon.com, Google+, and my blog, of which I still haven't written any new entries in yet. My sincere apologies. But if you could check out my links, that would be awesome. If you could donate to my GoFundMe campaign or my Patreon.com thing, that will become a Patreon.com thing. Become a Patreon.com patron, that would be awesome. I need help. It doesn't matter if I talk to my housemates this month. They don't have any money this month. They forgot to pay the water bill last month. So it's double this month. $300 for the water bill alone. They have no money now. I have to pay the rent and my storage unit with no help. If you could help, that would be awesome. I'm minus 400 in my checking account right now. If you could help, that would be awesome. But if you cannot donate or you do not donate, I take all good wishes, deposit them in the bank of my heart where I draw interest. So thank you very much. If you could toss me a like, that would too be greatly appreciated. I need a different word. Then just appreciate it. I gotta get a thesaurus. That would be greatly appreciated. I do thank you for all the positive validation for my existence I can get. Thank you. And if you could subscribe to the channel, that would be very, very cool. I would appreciate that as well. But I understand my personality has rubbed people wrong my entire life. If you do not like my videos, I understand. If you do not want to subscribe to the channel, I understand. But if you are down with it, I will do my best to keep you entertained from now until the literal end of time, which the average lifespan of an American man is 74 years. Longer, the more money you have. So I got maybe 19 summers left because countdown to 55 happening this month. Hey, hey. So, thank you all so very much for watching as I process. It is greatly appreciated. A definite thumbs up. I'm going to have a reaction video coming up. I got a game video coming up, and then hopefully I'm going to be able to stay awake to get a couple game videos done for my game channel. So if you could check that out, that would be cool too. So you take care. Have a great day today. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm just ready to give up. But you take care. I will see you on the flip side. And that, my friend, is a very good thing.